Alright, welcome back. This is probably going to be the last update for quite a while. The time has come. I'm heading back to, down to Cannonsburg next week, and then after that over to Homer City to the power plant to work on a job, so I'm going to be gone for quite a while. So, you probably noticed a flurry of activity of some uploads. Just things that have kind of been getting backed up, wanted to get them up before I depart. And I figured for this last video, I'll try to keep it as short as possible. Just kind of run down through the to-do list and some of the plans for when I am away and also then when I get back. So, alright, so here's my to-do list and the top things there. It's sort of in order of how I'll attack it, but I'm not saying it's 100%. Alright, so the first thing is I would rewire the switch control. That is right here. I need to get that done for the auto hand switch over there, and that's something that and the next one, which is detail the control points, the turnouts, derails, dragging equipment detectors, control boxes, signals, switch heaters, etc., etc., etc. That's all the kind of stuff. Obviously, I need switch machines in here and relay boxes. The signals need some detail work, a fair amount of detail work actually. A derail for this side. So there's a lot of things that needs to be done. And these two things, if I get a chance to get home for a weekend, I can kind of do them pretty easily. Not too involved, and I can kind of get into them, get them banged out when I get home. Now the next bunch of stuff, you see it's highlighted. This stuff I'm going to try to work on in the hotel in the evenings when I am deployed, so to speak. So obviously we got make trees, lot of work to do there. Plan all the buildings we've been talking about. I'm going to probably scratch build the all-aboard diner. NW Niger Milling, which is the name of the actual milling company. That'll be a scratch and a kit bash type deal. RR Street Enterprises, that's the new one that I'm going to make. That'll be scratch built. The gazebo, that'll be scratch built. Then the houses. I got a bunch of different housing kits that I've showed. Probably their kits, so I'll work on those at the hotel as well. And that's pretty much the stuff for here in Lake City. You have the all-aboard diner. You have the feed mill. You have the gazebos sitting in here somewhere. I got something else to do here. I'm not sure yet. You got a bunch of houses going up the side here on this side. So that's what all this stuff is. So I'm going to start to pack up a little mini toolkit to bring it with me to the hotel and hopefully be able to work on that in the evenings and weekends when I got to be there and everything. So, alright, so that touches on the final Lake City industry. That's one I just mentioned. That's what I'm going to put here. I'm not sure yet. Okay, the road crossing in Lake City, that's got to be done. I do have, that's this road crossing. I got to do two things. I'll obviously finish the road, the crossing, how I want to do it. And I do have, you can see sitting over there in the box, I found it. It's the Tomar set with gates, and I have some NJ International, just pedestrian gates, and I have the kit, the remote kit, I think from Circuitron. I think they may get to do, to power the gates with a tortoise switch machine. So that's going to be a lot of work, but I have it, so that'll have to get done as well. Alright, finish the road. That's just, the road going up. I used a little bit of Luke Towan's technique on that. Need to come back in and touch it up, stripe it, weather it, etc., etc., get it done. Then also work on the portion down here. Portion over there is not bad. I probably can let that go for now, and if I need to do any detail, do it in the fall. Okay, the road bridge, the Engage, that's supposed to be edge. Don't criticize my spelling. This is my personal list, so I'm not. But that bridge, anyway, that bridge is this bridge. Do I want to use the Rix kit I bought? Do I want to scratch build something? Because the Rix kit, I notice, is real narrow, and the prototype has got it's much wider. There's actually a little bit of a shoulder on each side, so the Rix kit might not work exactly like I had hoped, but we'll see. You can think about that. Then obviously scenery. Okay, we got all kinds of scenery I got to get finished up. I want to work from, well, this area's not done. I still got to do some work back here. They're just kind of sitting there right now for thinking. Down here is pretty much done, but then obviously along the embankment here up to the tunnel. Up here, not bad. I probably can let this go for a little while. I might want to finalize a couple things, but again, it's not too bad. And then I want to work on this here, and obviously work through Wallace Junction. The back, all along the back here needs to be done. And I still got, you can see I still have, if you saw the other video with the different bush and shrub techniques, they're all still sitting there. Then I got to work up, obviously, all around here, all up the peninsula, and then up into Lake City. That all needs to be done. The area over there, not too bad. I do want to work on the embankment a little bit more there in the back. But overall, I probably could let that go for a little while because it looks acceptable. And then obviously, I got to work from CP97, right, yeah, well, this whole area really, all the way up into Pittsfield. So, still a lot to do there. The far end curve, tell you what, let's take a little, come into my other office. We get up here, and I still got to work on the scenery here at this end of the curve. This is probably really the only bit that I actually need to do some foam work yet. So from the edge here around, and then however I'm going to tie it in, alright, in through here. So I'm going to get that done. So that's the far end curve scenery right there. Now in Eugene Yard, obviously a bunch to do. Ballast the track, get the intermodal yard done, figure out what kind of structures I'm going to have here, and then work on the real fun part, how in the world I'm going to tie it into the backdrop. You know, what am I going to do? I got to think about what I want to do up here. Right now I just got auto racks, but it's not really meant to be an auto rack yard. Although it could be. I think maybe an oil yard, or put an industry along the back there. You know, two tracks for an industry and 2 tracks basically for storage. I'm going to work in something around that little notch. And then obviously continue down here. How am I going to tie all this in? This is going to be a challenge. No doubt about it. Definitely going to be a challenge. So that is for Eugene Yard. Then obviously over here in the transformer factory, which still has wound up being more of a storage area. Got to work on all the buildings, plan out how I want the, do I want to do it like that? I have a whole lot of Walther's Cornerstone kits, some was at King Mills, some backdrop different stuff. So how am I gonna make kit bash stuff? Am I gonna scratch build certain buildings? What am I gonna have back there with that's gonna be an access hatch, which I'm gonna keep. Will it be a big office building? Will it be a parking lot, a torn down building? A lot to go through here, so it's okay. I mean, a lot of this, I mean, the track's all working, so there's no reason we can't, operate, run trains, leave the buildings like this for now. I mean, it's not terrible. You get the idea, but still need to do a fair amount of work in the factory, and that's probably going to take some time to do all the work with that. That could be, I don't know, maybe next winter I get that done, as in the winter of 2017, 2018, I don't know. But everything works. This stretch in here, I would say I got to do something with. I don't like, again, I don't like. Biggest mistake I made, to be honest, on this layout is the backdrop. It's too high. Not everywhere, at certain spots. It would have been a lot easier if I just would have manned up and paid the extra to have it, come all the way down. It would have cost a bit more, and it would have just been sky, really, but who cares? It would have looked, I think it would have blended in a lot better in certain spots. I've made it work in certain areas, but there's certainly other things that I need to do. Then I need to get to, what else is here on my list? Oh yes, swing out. That swing out section over there, what in the world am I going to do that? I want to get to eventually. I'm not overly worried about it. It's not an issue for Steve and I to get underneath it, but I do want to do something where that can swing, and probably I like to have it so it can swing out this way. Because if my mother ever came down here, or father-in-law or something like that, they probably wouldn't appreciate crawling underneath. So that is to come. And also the last real 2 things. modify the program for the CMRI to be actual full dispatcher control. Right now it's poor man CTC, which is fine, but does have some shortcomings. So I will work on that. And then under layout storage, I want to do a lot of, for example, under this area here, which right now is just kind of holding scenery stuff, but it's not a bad area to build in some shelves. Below all the fascia, I plan to have a curtain, something hanging down, color to match the fascia, to cover all the underneath the layout. And obviously there's a lot of open space in here, which now has just got a lot of boxes. But one area I would really like to do, since we do tend to like to run the European equipment, the Swiss and German, as well as the 1950 stuff, as well as the modern stuff, at some point underneath here. Now I still need to keep access to the node, but I'd like to be able to build some type of shelves where I could actually, it's hard to show this with the camcorder, but where I could actually pull out shelves and then swap out all the modern rolling stock for a 1950s rolling stock or European rolling stock or whatever. But I have a fair amount of room to build that out. I could do it here. The only thing I have there are the boosters, but I could do something in that area, and even the area up there. So there's a fair amount of space if I do it right to make it a little bit easier to swap in and out rolling stock. I probably could build something perhaps up here by the engine area, again underneath there, with some shelves to pull different motive power on and off. And there's a nice little spot again, along there, just for some shelving underneath to store stuff. So there's a lot of storage under the layout. Nice big area here under the factory, which right now just has boxes shoved into it. But there's a fair amount I could do there. So that's to come. And of course, again, even over here, a little bit thinner. But again, you could always put shelving in there. So I think I have a fair amount of space where I could do a lot of under the layout storage. And I'll probably, at some point in time, use areas like this for my wife's Christmas decorations, fall decorations, etc., etc. So that is the list. That's what we're going to do. That's what we'll be working on. Stuff there I hope to get to when I'm at the hotel in the evening. This job, like I said, starts pretty much next week, and I'm going to be gone, hopefully home weekends. I better be able to get home some weekends, but it's going to go through November, so long time. So I don't know how much more, like I said, I'll be posting. This will be the last one probably for quite a while. Although if I get home and get a chance to do some of these small items, I can update stuff. And on the positive side, I'm hoping to do a little bit of rail fanning when I'm down at Homer City, down on the NS Conemaugh line. Maybe even try to get a coal train or two going to the Shalakta power plant, which is a little bit unusual to catch. So we'll see. Make the best of it. Do what you can. So that's going to be it for a while. So we will say au revoir. And more to come as like I said, as we get through this job and I get back and hit it real heavy over the winter time. And when I get back, I'm probably going to say, hey, GE, I'll see you later. I'm done. I'll see you next year. So have a, at least a good solid month, and then take some vacation that I won't be able to take, probably even into January, and really try to hit this hard and get this thing finished up. There's a lot to do yet, but I'm pretty impressed how far we've gotten. When I look back at the very first video and go, wow, we really have come a pretty far away. And it does all operate, everything runs. Like I said, the CMRI is working, the DC system is working, so we can run trains, no issues, everything seems to run pretty well. So, that is it, folks. So again, this will be it for a while. Got a hiatus coming up. Do appreciate everyone watching. Do thank all the folks for subscribing. Enjoy reading all the great comments. I can't always get back to all of them, but I do read almost all of them and try to respond when I can. So that is it. Thanks a lot for watching, and more to come. We'll try to stay in touch. Let the folks know how things are going. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the summer, and everyone out there, please be safe.